All these are targeted towards, some rural areas, urban and suburban. Yes, all that is being done, but what about what do we take from all these parliaments? How does it affect the consumer positively? Is it still, okay, they hold these things and still it is negative on the consumer? So we need to refocus all those,
are you suggesting that in spite of all of those consumer parliaments, the complaints, suggestions that are made there, they're not taken on board?
Some are taken on board.
Okay.
Some are resolvable, some are being resolved, but a lot are still unresolvable.
Any particular one that comes to mind?
Yes. For instance, the issue of when you shortchange and they see that you have been shortchanged, how do you really get immediate compensation? It is still not.
Because I see people tweeting saying that some of them threatened to sue some networks for as little as 15 hours and then they compensated them. So in terms of awareness on the part of the consumers to always insist or speak up or bring to attention of any of those bodies how you've been wronged, would you say the awareness has grown now on the part of the consumers, or we still have a long way to go?
The awareness is currently growing. People before now will say, look, yes, I've been shortchanged this amount, but what do I do? I've complained to the operator and they're still not attending to it. But now, at least there's a window now to go to the NCC through the dialing of 622. So at least that is one window.
So 622 takes your complaint?
Takes your complaint.
Across board?
Yes, after complaining to the regulator, to the operator, and you are dissatisfied, then you go to the commission, you go to the NCC through 622.
Any case of anyone who's tried it and then was duly compensated?
There are
having dialed 622?
Yes, there are cases that have been solved, but some cases are still unresolved.
Interesting. In terms of regulation now, there are those who will always say that regulation plays a huge role, if not the most important role, in ensuring that consumer rights are not trampled upon. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, regulation should play a role that must be impartial. But these days, subscribers now start to wonder that the regulators are trying to now dance to the tune of the operators. Look at banking, for instance, and the bankers committee, no single consumer representative is represented, and yet you are just charging all sorts of money.
I know lawyer has spoken up and said, no, I challenge this. Nobody has come forward with any of such claim, or else who knows what the response might have been. So that's an area you think is worth perhaps looking into.
Precisely. Also, for instance, aviation. Let me tell you, the CPC has ruled that the moment your flight is delayed for about 3 hours or 4, you're entitled to a meal. Yes.
Well, since we're talking about the consumer now and looking at as it affects other sectors, what do you make of the power sector and the current tariff system?
Exploitative. The current tariff system is so exploitative, particularly when you are not metering consumers. You're not metering them, you're just giving them arbitrary bills, crazy bills, estimated bills that they are not using. And yet you are saying that, look, you want to cover, because you are slowing down the process of metering consumers, you want to cover your technical and commercial losses. What do they mean by that? Commercial losses are losses that the average consumer bypasses the connection from NEPA, so from PHCN, from PHCN to your home. So that is a commercial loss. Technical losses are those ones that comes from the grid, and you just find those wires, those long grid wires, coming down, and yet the TCN, or is it the TCN has given them this, it is still counting. So They now will give you estimated bill to cover their own technical losses and those commercial losses. How should the consumer pay for your losses? You find an internal arrangement to ensure that you recover your costs. I mean, you don't bill me. Now, 90% or more of consumers are not metered. And yet, the regulator, again, is failing. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission is failing in their duties to ensure that consumers are metered. It is only in this part of the world that you get consumers that are not metered are given crazy bills that they have to pay. And yet, when you now go and negotiate, they will now tell you, sorry, the best they can do is give you a 20% rebate.
There are also allegations about this, since you're talking about the meters, that I've gotten this information from JOS, that they plan to meter them in a particular area and put the meters up the poles, the electricity poles, right in front of their houses and not necessarily in the house or in front of the house as practiced in the past. And the new meters are exorbitantly configured just so that you have so much that is being charged on it. Is there something that you can do to investigate or look at that? Do you have an investigative arm that looks at this kind of issues?
Oh, definitely. In fact, we have interfaced with some of the meter manufacturers. And what we are also saying is that before you meter, ensure that the meter is very well configured. And don't forget, some of these meters are now smart, i.e. they use SIM cards, they have cameras, So, and let me also tell you that they are not willing to give consumers meters. They enjoy giving estimated billing. I mean, the electricity distribution companies, they enjoy giving, estimated billings, crazy billings, and all that. Again, there is a process called Cap Me.
All right, we'll come to all of that. Just give us a moment. Perhaps your aviation. Share your story with us. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. Well, I see Dunbird here saying internet users in Abuja pay more than internet users in Ibadan and Oshogbo, and he just goes on and on. He says NCC does not seem to be aware of that. Mr. Ogunbajo, I mean, data, telecoms, that's your base. You haven't said anything about data. Are you happy with the way it's going?
No.
Why not?
Yes, a little bit happy because at least data is assisting a lot of Nigerians to get engaged commercially.
But I hear people say that it looks as if either the meters or something has been recalibrated, because the same amount of data you used to buy that could last you for a month these days is either 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Have you ever heard any such complaint?
Only yesterday, somebody came to complain that it seemed as if they have adjusted their tariff behind the scene. Oh. So, but I promised the person I'm going to engage. Thank God today is a World Consumer Day, and there's an event, they are flagging off an event in Abuja today, and by next week there's going to be a meeting. So I will definitely place this before them that look, it seems that some adjustments have been made to the tariff, to data tariff behind the scene, and NCC should please look at that. I just got that complaint yesterday.
All right, let's begin to wind down, because you also spoke about aviation, and lots of people already commenting on what they see now. But about that part, because we also have spoken about this several times, how they'll tell you that when you do go there, passenger bill of rights are supposed to be pasted on the airports. We don't see that kind of scenario. Have you had any specific case where you complained about a matter and it wasn't judiciously or adequately listened to?
Sincerely, I had complained once. Don't let me mention the airline, popular airline though, and we were delayed for 4.5 hours. I now told the person sitting beside me, I said, look, we deserve a meal. They are looking at me. I said, we deserve a meal. So can I have 2, 3, 4 people? They looked at me. Then one lady said, oh yes, I know you, sir. I can follow you. So we went there, and we now, told the airline person that, look, I am so. We need to have a meal. You have delayed us for this. No, and sorry, and all that. I said, where's the office? So I now took the lady to the office at the airport. Sincerely, sir, we argued and all that, and I now told them 15 of us are hungry. So we're saying they gave us 15 fine meals in one of those eateries there. So we must fight for our rights, stand up for our rights. And because I had the knowledge that, look, if you've delayed me for more than 3 hours, I'm entitled to a meal. This was 4.5 hours. And they knew what we were saying, and the management had to order us, had to give us a meal that day. That was the only instant where I had to, put up a strong fight for consumers. But we can all do it, only if we fight for it.
Okay, so there you go. That's the food for thought today, and where we can then anchor today, World Consumer Rights Day. We've been speaking with Chief Deolu Ogunbajo, who is the National President, Telecom Subscribers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And that's the show as well. Yeah, you could keep your comments coming through to us, and lots of people, just watch this space. We'll see how far we can go on that. Thank you for watching anyway. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Thanks for watching. I am Gimba Umar.
Oh, hope you fight for your rights. It's Consumer Protection Day of Consumer Rights Day. Thank you, Amaokpe Ogun.